So in this video, I'm gonna give you 10 reasons you're gonna love living in the East Village in Manhattan. Now, this neighborhood has quite the bar scene, and I do have to say, this is honestly the reason why a lot of people tend to be attracted to this neighborhood. If you are looking for a neighborhood where you can go out all the time, but kind of more in a casual way, this is going to be the neighborhood for you. If you are not interested in really going out all the time, it definitely, like you can still love the neighborhood. So I do have to say, a lot of people are attracted to the neighborhood because of this. So I actually really think that the East Village has really, really good underrated takeout spots. Now, with DoorDash, Uber Eats, all of these type of delivery services, you can really get food anywhere in New York City. But sometimes it's just really nice to be able to go down the street and just pick up something and not have to wait for a delivery driver or person to come bring you your food. So I do think it's just so nice to have that directly in the neighborhood. So if you look at all the restaurants in the East Village, there are so many different types of dining. And if you look close enough, you can really find something for everyone. So it has a very, very diverse dining scene. Now, the East Village is a waterfront neighborhood. The East Village is very, very large. Depending on where you live in the East Village, you might not be that close to the waterfront, but if you walk all the way east throughout the whole neighborhood, you can get to the waterfront. And it's just so nice to be able to get some fresh air and not feel like you're landlocked all the time in Manhattan. So there are good subway transportation options in this neighborhood. Now, the East Village is a big neighborhood. If you live all the way east, just like in any neighborhood, if you live all the way east or all the way west, it's definitely, you're not gonna have the best access to trains. So if you live all the way east in the Alphabet City area of the East Village, you are gonna have to walk in to the main part of the East Village. So other than that, there are really great trains that go through this neighborhood. Now, to go back to dining, not only is there a lot of different type of options, but there's also a lot of different ethnicities represented here when it comes to cuisine. So it's definitely a really good neighborhood to be able to try so many different types of food that you've never even seen before. So I already mentioned Alphabet City. Now, Alphabet City, if you live in that part particularly, it can tend to be very quiet in that part of the East Village. So if you are looking for quiet, then this area of the neighborhood might be something that you want to consider. Now, there are some streets in the East Village that are definitely going to be more quiet than others, but if you live on the main avenues in the East Village, it's definitely going to be a little louder because there's a lot of action going on, but it can be quiet in those areas. So the East Village is kind of known as being a very artsy community, and it's been like that for years, and honestly, I think it's still really thriving as a major art scene. So not only is this not a landlocked neighborhood, but there are also multiple parks in the neighborhood as well. So you're gonna have Tompkins Square Park, you're gonna have the Avenue A Park, Alphabet City, and then you're also gonna have St. Mark's Place as well. So you really do have some greenery in the neighborhood. The East Village is next to Greenwich Village, and also not too far from the West Village, which is on the west side, so on the opposite side of Greenwich Village. Compared to both of those two neighborhoods, most of the time, I say most because there's always an exception to the rule, so most of the time the East Village is going to be cheaper when it comes to rent and purchasing than Greenwich Village and the West Village. Now, I know there's always exceptions, but for the most part, if we're looking at a grand scale of things, that's definitely gonna be the case. So that's 10 reasons why you're gonna love living in the East Village in Manhattan. Now, if there's anything I missed in this video, or if you guys have any questions about the neighborhood, feel free to leave them in the comments. Now, we just launched a new newsletter called the City Life Newsletter, and it is a weekly newsletter about new things happening in the city in real time. So if you guys think you could find value from this, I would love if you subscribe to the newsletter. So you can find the link to subscribe in the description of this video. And I'm just gonna thank you in advance.